Would you love to attract high ticket clients faster and easier than whatever you're doing right now? I hope the answer is yes, because that's exactly what I'm going to share with you here today. My name is Desiree Stafford, and I help coaches and others in the transformational business space. So that means therapists, healers, intuitives, for example. I really help them become magnetic to clients. And that's what I want to share with you here today. When my clients are able to really implement what I'm going to share with you in this training, they're able to leap to 20K, 50K, 100K plus months with simplicity and ease. So if that sounds like something that you would love to do, something that would literally change the entire trajectory of your life, then you're going to love what I have to share with you here today. Now, I'm going to get straight into the training. I don't know about you, but I value my time and I don't like fluff. So I want to get straight into the training. Make sure that you have something to take some notes with, because again, if you actually go out and implement what I'm sharing with you here today, it can blow your business up pretty quickly. All right. So let's get right into it. Now, the first thing I want you to do is self-identify. I want you to identify that you are even in the right spot. So I'm going to ask you some questions to make sure that you're going to get the most value from being here today. Let's see if you resonate with any of the things that I'm going to share here. Would you love to double your income, or maybe even triple your income, but the idea of having to double your work hours to attract more clients stresses you out, right? Are you worried that you'll feel overwhelmed or burnt out by supporting more clients? Are you secretly afraid that if you take on more clients, you'll be found out? So if you can resonate with any of these questions here, what I want you to understand is that this can be resistance that actually cuts off your flow of clients. It literally will block clients from coming to you, right? Now, I believe that if you're in the business of transformation, meaning that you know that your work can powerfully help people change their lives, then there are countless people in the marketplace right now and around the world, in fact, who are eager and able to pay you, right? To pay you more than what you're currently charging. But if you have any of this resistance, it's going to block your flow. All right, so let's talk about what this is really a symptom of and the solution to this. All right, so if you're experiencing any of this, it's really a symptom of not having the right business model. So and let me just clarify. There is no right or wrong. There are lots of business models out there. But if you want a business model that's going to support you, meaning a business model that's going to serve you so that you release your resistance to attracting more clients and bringing in more income, then there is a better business model for you. Okay? So what I recommend my clients do is create what I call a high profit, low stress business model. And we do that by creating irresistible high ticket offers. Now, when I say high ticket, I'm referring to offers priced at $5,000 to $50,000 plus. Some clients charge $80,000, some charge a little bit more. So it really depends on where you are, what it is that you're providing to people, what number you can really get behind. But the point that I want to make to you here is that if you have this type of business model set up, you really don't need a ton of offers, nor do you need a ton of clients, right? So with this type of business model, you can have 2 to 3 offers maximum and grow your business exponentially, right? You want to set the business up in a way that's actually scalable, okay? So let's talk about some of the benefits of having this type of business model. You can literally collapse your monthly income into a week or a sale, even if you're not a business coach and no one knows your name yet, right? So what I mean by this is, number one, you can command high ticket if you are a mindset coach, a relationship coach, an intuitive, an empowerment coach, a soul coach, whatever it is that you want to call yourself, right? You can command high ticket fees if you create an offer that helps your client solve a specific burning problem faster and easier than they could do on their own, right? What I want you to understand is that it doesn't matter what niche you're in. What really matters is your ability to see the value that you offer from a higher perspective and be able to communicate that value, which we're going to talk about later on in this training. But if you're willing to do that, then you can absolutely command premium fees. In fact, there will be so many clients who would be glad to pay you. And really what they're doing is investing in themselves through you at premium fees so that they can really get more of their time back, right? They can solve their problem faster and easier, so they're going to get more of their time, more of their life back. That's why they choose to invest at premium fees with you. Now, let's say, for example, you are making $10,000 a month right now, right? if you chose to create a $10,000 program, it's going to be a lot easier to do things like hitting your first 50K month or your first 100K month, selling a $10,000 program compared to, let's say you're selling $2,000 courses right now or $2,000 programs right now. That would be 50 clients to get you to just a 50K month, let alone 100K months. Right? So as you can see, it's going to be faster and easier for you to be able to achieve your goals by simply increasing your fees. Make sense? All right. So another benefit of having this type of model is that you can leverage your time while doing deep work that delivers a bigger ROI or bigger results for your clients. So they get more ROI faster. So they get a return on their investment faster, right? And what happens when that happens? People are excited. They're happy. They love the results that they were able to experience with you. And so they want to continue to work with you. They renew more often. And that's where you get to experience more monthly reoccurring revenue or start monthly reoccurring revenue. And what that means is that you have money coming in month after month from clients who decide to continue to work with you. You create a package that could be a mastermind that's 6 to 12 months long, or it could be something else, right? But it's an opportunity for you to continue to support your clients over a longer period of time so that they have long-lasting results, long-lasting transformation, and they pay you month after month for that. So let's say you have, a few clients a month coming in, let's say 5 clients a month coming in into a $10,000 6 to 12 week group program. That's $50,000 a month, right? But every month you have a percentage of those clients, let's say half of those clients, re-enrolling with you or renewing with you, right? And so they renew with you into a longer term program, and then they're paying you $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, or whatever K per month to continue to work with you. And as you can see, the numbers are going to start to add up, right? So imagine starting your month with 5 figures already on the books, or even 6 figures already on the books before you even make another sale. Imagine the feeling of security, of knowing that you have money already on the books, and what that does to your confidence when you go out into the marketplace to market to attract new clients, right? So with very few sales, you're able to make a significant amount more than you're currently making, right? And when you set your programs up the right way, I personally recommend that you do groups. I like intimate group programs or hybrid programs. So these are programs that are structured like a group. There's a group environment or a group component, but you also offer some one-on-one. Those are my 2 favorite types of programs because they do allow you to leverage your time. That means your business is going to be scalable. You're going to be able to take on as many clients as you desire without breaking your business, right? Without getting overwhelmed by delivery. And you're also able to do the deeper work with your clients so that they get amazing results, okay? So another benefit of this model is that you rise above the BS in your head. This is probably one of my favorite parts or one of my favorite benefits of this model. And what I mean by this is in order for you to command high ticket fees, you have got to stop telling yourself all the stories about that you're not good enough, right? That you don't know enough yet. The fear of being found out is simply imposter syndrome. It's simply coming from this idea that you don't know enough yet. And here's the thing. You have to make a decision that you know enough right now to serve the people that you're meant to serve, because no one else can make that decision for you. I call this smart people problems, because what happens is the more we know, the more we realize that there's more that we don't know. That's never going to change. You're always going to be learning and growing, right? But you do have a significant amount of knowledge. You have wealth of wisdom that can powerfully transform more lives today without you learning one new thing. So what I would encourage you to do is just make the decision today that what you already know is powerful enough to help people change their lives, right? So in order for you to command higher fees, you have to do this kind of work. You have to face yourself. You have to stop telling yourself these stories that are, quite frankly, not true, right? So that you are able to serve your clients more powerfully. And when you do this, you then start to serve at a higher level. You get to tap into more of your creativity, more of your genius, because you're no longer beating yourself up, telling yourself that you don't know enough. Instead of focusing on what you think you don't know, you focus more on what you already know. And as you know, what we focus on expands. Right? So the more you focus on what you know, the more you're able to use that to tap into higher levels of your genius. Make sense? All right. So I want to introduce you to Whitney. because I helped Whitney shift her business model, and it shifted her entire business. When she came to work with me, she was stuck at $20,000 a month, and she was on the verge of burnout. She was selling $2,000 courses, and it felt like no matter what she did or didn't do, nothing was really shifting in her income. And so we made a couple of tweaks to her business model, created a really nice high ticket offer that was utterly irresistible to her clients, and she was able to go to $96,000 a month with less stress. And so she's no longer, spending a ton of time chasing after sales. So she has more time to, serve her clients powerfully. She's less stressed. And in her words, that makes her a happier wife. She gets to do things outside of her business that really nurture her creativity and make her feel more alive. So I want you to think for yourself, what would be possible for you if you made this kind of shift in your business? If you shifted from whatever model you have right now to what I call a high profit, low stress business model, one that's really backed by irresistible high ticket offers that allow you to deliver more value to your clients, help them get bigger, better results, but it also puts more money in your pocket with a lot less time and effort on your part. Cool? All right, so let's move on to the next secret that's going to make you magnetic. Before we get there, again, I want you to self-identify to make sure that what we're going to talk about next really applies to you. All right, so is this you? Is your marketing getting ignored by clients who are at the right level to receive your gifts? So I've seen people at all different levels struggle with this, whether they're pre-six figures doing 100K a year or even $500,000 a year. This is a challenge for many coaches, many experts in our space. Okay. So you're not alone if this is what you're experiencing. Do you feel like people like your stuff, but they're not buying from you consistently? I call this being a likable educator. So, you create great content, which is evident by the fact that people are engaging, people are liking it, right? But it's not leading to consistent sales. Are you tired of wasting time on the phone or in DMs with people who'd love to butt? So people who fangirl you, but then they come up with every excuse under the sun as to why they can't move forward. So whether it's, I can't afford it, or, I need to speak with my husband, my dog, or my angels before I make a decision. The bottom line is they're not moving forward and you feel like you've wasted a ton of time, right? If you can relate to any of this, it's a symptom of you not having a compelling message. And I want to talk to you about this because here's the thing. I know that there are a lot of gurus out there who are, preaching that their strategy is the strategy of all strategies, right? And that if you only learn how to do webinars the right way, or if you only learn how to run ads the right way, or if you only know how to do launches the right way, or this other whiz-bang strategy, that's going to be the solution to all of your problems, and that's total BS, okay? The thing that makes any strategy work, and they all work if you work them, the thing that makes any strategy work is the messaging. If you don't have the messaging right, you can forget it, right? So let's talk about the messaging, right? That's the most critical aspect of your ability to call in people who are at the right level, people who don't just consume your content, but they also feel inspired to move, inspired to reach out and become a client, and people who, by the time they come into your space, meaning they get on the phone with you or they're in your private message, that they're ready to jump in, right? So let's talk about the benefits. I kind of gave some of it away, but let's go a little bit deeper. So number one, having a compelling message is going to allow you to attract your people and repel the rest. You only want to be working with people who are your people, right? People who, again, are at the right level, who can pick up what you're putting down, right? The kind of people who are going to step into your programs, they're going to implement, they're going to get amazing results, and they're going to renew with you and send you referrals. So you want your messaging to attract those people and then repel everybody else, okay? A compelling message communicates the value of your offer so powerfully that people are inspired to slide into your DMs or fill your calendar with appointments to become a client, right? Sales calls. So this is the power of having a compelling message. It has to communicate the value of what you do, okay? Not just providing valuable content, which is what a lot of people teach you. You have to communicate the value of what you do. You have to position the value of what you do so that it's essentially a no-brainer to your people, right? That's going to get them excited to reach out to you. Another benefit of having a compelling message is that it's going to save you time and energy because you're going to shift from convincer to chooser. So when people get on the phone with you, or when people are in DMs with you, you're not convincing them to work with you, right? You already know your stuff works. You don't need to convince anybody, right? You don't want that headache. right? You don't want to be dragging people into your programs and then through your programs. You want people who are ready to jump right in, people who've already sold themselves before they even reach out to you, right? And that's the power of having a compelling message, because when you have that, then again, you save yourself time. You're not going back and forth with people, right? And you're going to save yourself energy. You're not feeling like you have to drag people and carry people. Okay, these are some of the benefits of having a compelling message. So you want to make sure that you take a look at the message that you have right now, and if it's not getting you the results that you want, what needs to shift in order for it to deliver for you, right? I can tell you one thing that's really important is that you make sure that your messaging speaks directly to the hearts and minds of your people, right? There are so many, I guess, people teaching marketing, for example, where a lot of the emphasis is on, really volume, right? Becoming a content machine. But I can tell you from personal experience is that it isn't about the volume of content that you create. It is about the impact of the content that you create, right? It is about how compelling the messaging is. If you can create messaging that really gets to someone here and here, you're golden, right? So it's important that you understand how to do that. All right, so I want you to meet Hind, because Hind is a great example of what happens when you make some tweaks to your messaging. When Hind came to work with me, she was stuck at $2,500 a month, and this was not for lack of effort. I mean, she's super smart and super dedicated to what she does, and there were some days that she was spending up to 10 hours a day creating content, right? So it wasn't a ton of fun doing that, but she was, again, committed to her, her purpose. And so what we did was we did raise her fees. With every client I work with, that's one of the areas that we focus on, was raising her fees. But we also worked on her messaging to create a message that was so compelling that literally had, she had both $10,000 plus clients reaching out to her that she was closing full pay sales over private messenger. And she had 7-figure clients reaching out to her. I mean, if that's not a shift, a powerful shift to messaging, I don't know what is, right? She was able to do $58,000 in 6 weeks. She was able to get her life back. The thing that I love the most about her story is that she is now able to model what success with ease looks like to her kids. She went from hustling and pushing and forcing, like so many of us have been through, to being able to invite sales in with ease. Again, having people reach out to her. What it feels like to wake up to people DMing you, people from around the world DMing you wanting what you have. This is available to everybody, right? But you've got to know how to create the kind of messaging that creates that strong desire for what it is that you offer for people. All right, so that's what she was able to do. I'm so proud of her. Okay, so let's move on to the next secret, if you will, to becoming magnetic to clients, right? So let's see if this is you. Let's see if you resonate. Is part of you doubting that 20K, 50K, or even 100K plus months are actually possible for you, right? So you've heard me share some stories already about clients, but perhaps there's a part of you that's like, that sounds good for everybody else, but I don't really know if that's possible for me, right? Do you think that people in your niche can't afford to pay you 5-figure plus fees? Okay, now I've had clients charge $10,000, $30,000, $50,000, $80,000, right? So, and they've been in all different niches, but you may have this thing going on in the back of your mind. And I will say this, even though I've had clients charge those fees, I would say every single one of them had this concern, that they weren't really sure. Even Whitney, who I mentioned to you in the beginning of this training, she was concerned that people wouldn't pay her $5,000 and now she's charging $30,000, right? So I want you to know that if you have this concern, you're not alone, okay? Are you thinking, or giving, I should say, are you giving me the side eye? Because you're thinking that it can't really be this simple, right? Perhaps you are so used to working really hard to prove yourself. You're so used to believing that you have to work hard to earn money. And there's a part of you that's like, while I desire more ease and flow, I don't really think it could be this simple, okay? So if any of this is you, trust me, I can relate, because I felt every one of these things before. And they're actually a symptom of you not being in alignment with what it is that you say that you want. So this is something that impacts a lot of people, right? And if it weren't, then everybody would have what they want. but most people don't. Most people live lives of quiet despair. Most people, know that they're capable of way more than what they're currently producing. Most people don't feel that they've come anywhere close to unleashing their full potential. Why? I'll tell you what I believe. I don't believe it's for lack of effort. The people that I attract work really hard. Many of them know that they're working too hard for too little. And it's not because they're sitting around twiddling their thumbs all day, right? The real secret, if you will, now we've talked about 2 secrets already. Number 1, having the right business model, and that really consists of having irresistible high ticket offers. Number 2, we've talked about, making sure that you have a compelling message. But number 3, this to me is the glue that pulls everything together, is the alignment piece. It's when you are actually in alignment with what it is that you say that you want. It's when your thoughts and your feelings and your actions are all in alignment. That is when you become magnetic. Okay? So, when you're in alignment, you choose to be led by desire versus fear. You remember who you are, and you own your power to create what you want when you want it. So if there's that part of you that's saying, and I look at this as we each have 2 different parts of us. We have, and in my case, I will say little d and big D. Sometimes I'll say, the part of me that's afraid, and then the part of me who knows the truth of who I really am, right? But the point is, it's like we have 2 different versions of ourselves. There's the version of ourselves that has been conditioned to believe what we believe, right? So we've had beliefs passed down to us from childhood. We've collected beliefs from society and our peers, and we see what other people are doing, and we limit ourselves based on those beliefs, right? Plus things that we've been through. We create story and meaning out of things that we've experienced, right? That limit us. And then we have the version of ourselves that's completely unlimited. That's the soul part of ourselves. And I personally believe that our desires are our soul-seeking expansion, right? So that's the larger part of ourselves that's dying to come out and play. And so when you're in alignment, you are led by that version of yourself. In other words, when you're in alignment, you allow yourself to be who you really are, right? The part of you that is not weighed down by limitations, that's not weighed down by flawed assumptions, okay, based on past experiences. The part of you that knows that you can be, do, and have whatever it is that you want. That's what alignment really is about, okay? And when you're in alignment, you are literally unstoppable. All right. So when you're in alignment, you also embody your value. You are fully aware that some people will not choose to invest in themselves through you. Some people will. And either way, it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't matter because it doesn't mean anything. There are tons of people in the marketplace who will tell you that they can't afford it. And while they might believe that that is their truth, the reality is that people don't buy what they can afford, they buy what they want, right? So then this really is about you fully embodying your value and knowing how to communicate the value of what it is that you offer in the marketplace so that people want it, right? They want it. But then again, you being detached from the outcome. So even if you know you can really help someone and they still choose not to move forward, that you're not allowing your confidence to take a nosedive because of that. There are a lot of people who don't get very far in this industry because they're afraid to be rejected. That was me for a very long time. And the people who really make it are the people who are willing to keep going, the people who are willing to embrace their value, no matter how many times someone says no, or someone reaches out and they don't buy. Right? This is what embodying your value is really about. It's about you knowing that you're enough no matter what. When you're in alignment, you take inspired action and you allow. What allowing really means is that you trust that you are enough. You trust that you're doing enough. You trust that you know enough. Nothing is missing. Right? And when you do that, you're no longer shooting yourself in the foot with doubt and worry. All the things that create resistance, that creates distance between you and what it is that you desire, right? So rather than pushing and forcing to try to make things happen, you learn how to relax and allow. That is alignment. That's why it gets to be easy. The thing to remember is that abundance is our natural state, which means being able to receive more is natural. We've only been conditioned to believe that it isn't, which is why we create resistance and struggle, right? So what I'm saying here is that when you are in alignment with what it is that you desire, you go for what you want unabashedly. You embody your value. So you hold the energy no matter what's going on. And you continue to take inspired action, and you allow. You trust. You don't shoot yourself in the foot. You don't put cold water on this amazing energy that you've built up when you go into doubt and fear, right? It's about learning how to manage your thoughts and your emotions so that you stay in alignment with what it is that you desire. The better you're able to do that, the faster you will manifest clients and cash. The more consistent you'll be able to do it. Consistently, you'll be able to do it. All right. So I want to share with you Janelles' story, because Janelle really mastered this. And when she did, she started showing up fully as herself rather than the nice girl. You know how often we show up as the nice girl when we know that there's a badass really hiding within. And so Janelle gave herself permission to show up as that badass. She got herself in alignment with who it was that she knew that she really was the entire time. And she was able to make a quantum leap. She went from $5,000 a month to $190,000 in a 4-month period of time. She made 10 times more than what she would have made every month over a 4-month period of time had she not made a change. So I want you to see the impact of choosing to believe in yourself, right? Of choosing to believe that you know enough right now to support people at a higher level, to command the fees that you know your work is worth, right? And the power of being able to get yourself in alignment and keep yourself in alignment so that you can actually realize your vision, okay? Now, I want to share with you why I'm so passionate about what I'm talking about here today. And it's really because everything that I'm sharing with you came from my own personal experience, my own personal lived experience. So I don't teach anything out of a book. I teach you based on the trial and error that I experienced and me learning how to overcome things. Because it wasn't that long ago when, my business wasn't working. I was stuck at $25,000 a month, and I was doing all of the things and I couldn't figure it out. I had invested in every single course under the sun. I learned every lead gen strategy. I tweaked my message 1,000 times, and it felt like nothing was changing. And I couldn't figure out, for the life of me, if I'm so smart, why can't I get this? And I remember the turning point for me came about 3 years ago. I was home visiting my family for the holidays, and I told myself that I was just going to spend a few minutes working on my umpteenth funnel, because while I was doing $25,000 a month, I was always in this space of fear, never knowing where the next sale was going to come from. And I knew that I was holding back a lot and just not enjoying myself. And so because I constantly had this fear that there wasn't going to be enough money, that I was always going to run out, I was always working. And so when I locked myself in my sister's room that day, I said to myself, it'll just be a few minutes. But those few minutes turned into a few hours of me pushing and forcing. And I remember taking a moment to breathe. And when I did, I could hear my family laughing and celebrating the holiday without me. And my heart just dropped, because here I was in the same household with them, but I wasn't present, And it was then that I decided that something needed to change, because I didn't have any of the things I really desired in my business. I didn't have financial freedom. I didn't have mental and emotional freedom. Again, I was always stressed about where the next sale was going to come from. I was holding back a lot, wasn't showing up fully as a leader that I knew that I was meant to be, because I was afraid that I would say the wrong thing and then lose sales. I just felt really small. And when you're a powerhouse and you can feel that you're playing small, even if everyone else, can see that you're a powerhouse, they see that you're a rock star, but you know that you're playing small, that I can't think of anything more painful than that. And that was the pain that I was in. And I remember making a decision that day that literally changed the entire trajectory of my business and my life, because I decided to hire a new mentor. Even though I had, hired mentors in the past, and I thought, well, listen, if I'm so smart, I should be able to figure this out. What really dawned on me was that if I knew the answers, then I would have the results. So being smart wasn't about knowing all of the answers. Being smart was about knowing when to ask for help, right? When to ask for help so that you can actually get the results that you want faster and easier. And so that's what I did. And within 2 weeks, I kid you not, within 2 weeks, I went from being stuck at $25,000 a month to bringing in $133,000. And it blew my mind how simple it was. And with my mentor, we did exactly what I shared with you here today. We raised my fees. So I already had a high ticket business model, but I was charging significantly less. So we raised my fees by a lot. We created a compelling message and got me in alignment with what it was that I said that I wanted. So I was able to face some of the resistance that I had. Some of it I didn't even know that I had, and work through that. Got myself in alignment and brought in a ton of cash and a ton of clients, amazing clients at that. And so my life, I mean, it's undescribable, like how things have changed and the freedom that I have, the time freedom that I have, the financial freedom that I have, but more importantly for me, it's the freedom to be who I am. Feeling safe being as big as I know that I'm meant to be, right? So what I want to share with you is that while my life has changed significantly, this training isn't about me or my life. This training is about you and your life and your business. So what I really want you to think about is what would be possible for you? What would be possible for you if you learned how to implement what I shared with you in this training? You know, what would it be like if you were able to collapse your monthly income into a week or a sale and be able to attract, you know, amazing clients who would get great results with less effort on your part, the kind of clients who would renew with you, give you amazing testimonials, send referrals your way, and be able to experience monthly reoccurring revenue. So you'd have 5 or even 6 figures on the books every month, the safety and security you would have from that before you even made another sale for the month. Do you know? Like, what would that allow you to do for yourself, to do for your family, to do with your friends, right? What would it mean to you to have a compelling message, a message that attracts the right people, the people who are at the right level to pick up what you're putting down, right? For you to be able to save time and money and only get on the phone with people who you know are going to be, potential clients, and then only signing people that you know are going to be your next testimonial, getting to be the chooser and sign people that you know are going to be your next testimonial, right? Rather than feeling like you have to sign anybody just to cover your expenses and pay yourself a small salary. What would it feel like to get yourself into alignment and really free yourself from fear, people pleasing, imposter syndrome, shrinking to fit, all of the things that many of us do that keep us playing way smaller than we know that we're meant to play, right? So what would any of that mean to you? Because if it would mean a lot, and if you're ready to change your life, right? When I teach people how to grow their businesses, there's no denying that their lives change significantly for the better, right? So if that's something that you desire for yourself and you're ready for it now, here's how I can help you. What you can do is go to www.powerhouseonfire.com/apply. You're going to fill out an application to book in a time to speak with me. So before you go to this link, though, I really want you to think about your readiness, or your level of readiness is what I was going to say. Because here's the deal. I am only available for people who are at the place in their lives where they're categorically done playing small, right? You have to be at the place where you're done tolerating what you've been tolerating, where you're no longer willing to put up with inconsistent sales, inconsistent cash flow, difficult clients, and even your own BS. Right? Like, you've got to be at the place where you're done with your own stories, your own excuses, and you're ready for more. Because those are the people that I do my best work with. I do my best work with people who are ready to take responsibility for creating the reality that they desire and deserve. The reality that's going to make them feel proud, right? You know, if you want to be able to provide better for your family, you want to be able to leave a real legacy, you want to be able to serve your clients more powerfully, and not just ready, but like committed to that, then I can help you. But if you're too afraid to do that, like if you're too afraid to give yourself permission to charge what you want to charge, to make how much you want to make every month and allow it to be easy, I can't help you, right? But if you're willing for change, if you're willing to experience what you know you're capable of, and you want some guidance and support and accountability to get you there faster and easier than you can do on your own, then you can go to this link. Go to www.powerhouseonfire.com/apply. What you're going to do is fill out the application. I'm going to review it. And if I believe I can help you, I'll be in touch with the next steps. All right. So that's what I wanted to share with you here today. Hope you got amazing value. And until we do speak, I hope you're up to big, bold things in your life and in your business. Take care.